fraternities and
Everything's neutral. It's how you use it. Dr. King was Alpha Phi Alpha. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad was Omega Psi Phi. Major Dr. Martin Robinson Delaney, grandfather of Pan-Africanism, he was a Mason. Prince Hall, another Pan-Africanist, he was a Mason. So it's all neutral. It's what you do with it. In other words, at TSU, the fraternities might actually be, sororities might actually be into community service. They might actually be into stop the violence. They might actually be into growing black businesses. I might go down the road to FIST and it might just be a party happy situation.
Right.
It all depends where you are. The fraternities and sororities are too diverse to judge an entire organization because there's just too much variety amongst them. I speak in colleges all the time. I'm impressed with some of the stuff that they're doing at certain places. In other places, I'm like, they need to shut this chapter down because all y'all want to do is haze people, get drunk, and party, march at the parties. You know what I mean? So it really all depends on the chapter.
Right.
But in essence, I support them because many of our ancestors came through those channels and they used it for good.
What about? But see, here's Del. This is where I want to go. I want to take the conversation to a different spot. Because you're sounding like you're passionate and you care about fraternities.
Yeah.
But I did see that you've been having this conversation about hip hop, and it's where it has not did anything in 50 years.
So are you considering hip hop a fraternity?
I'm considering hip hop. Well, I want to explore this conversation.
Okay.
I want to explore the fraternity and hip hop.
Because if they are a fraternity, who are their founders? And who do they pay dues to?
Well, see, here we go. This is where it gets interesting.
Them same people that own LeBron. Keep going.
See? All right. But do you acknowledge that fraternities and hip hop are somewhat parallel?
How?
No?
How? Tell me.
The sense of belonging to something. There's
The
more.
fraternities and sororities are much more structured. More
I
structured.
would disagree with that. Tell me why you think they're much more structured. You just spoke about the hazing. You just spoke about some of the...
And you can get your chapter snatched. You can go to jail if you get caught doing that stuff.
You can go to jail for doing some of the stuff the rappers do.
Okay, look at the principles that the fraternities and the sororities stand for. This is their...
But you just spoke about variety. And so I would say hip hop has
variety
the same
in
variety.
activity. There's no variety in the principles that they stand for. What are the principles that hip hop stand on again?
Depends on who you're speaking with.
Why is it different? Because whether I go to this chapter of Deltas or that
That's
chapter
not
of
true.
Deltas...
That's
or
not
that-
true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true because some of them don't view hazing in the way that others
No, you're talking
view
about
hazing.
hazing. You're talking about an activity. I'm talking about the principles.
Well,
that the
okay,
organization-
but so how does the principles relate to the activities?
Well, you got to speak to them directly. I don't want to.
So in hip hop, the principles could be, we don't want to see killing. There could be people that have those.
When
principles.
was that a principle?
There's several people right now that have those.
No. When was that a principle for the genre? I didn't say individuals.
When did there's a conscious hip hop. There is a conscious hip hop.
There is, but when did hip hop overall?
We're speaking about variety.
No. Because see, now you keep flipping back.
Yeah.
On me. No. When did hip hop ever put forth a code of conduct?
Never.
So what the hell are we talking about?
I don't believe that exempts or stops the conversation between the parallels of fraternities and hip hop.
I don't think there's a parallel. There's too much structure in fraternities and sororities to be compared with hip hop, where people do whatever they want, whenever they want, and the only person they got to answer to is the law. In fraternities and sororities, you have to answer to the hierarchy and the leadership. There is no leadership in hip hop. You ain't got to go have a conversation with Russell Simmons if you did some bad shit.
You just told me, though, that people come out of hip hop are controlled. So there are leadership. It just may not be black leadership.
Absolutely. Crackers run their ass.
Yeah.
That's my point.
All right. So, but in your opinion, you respect fraternities and hip hop has done nothing for black people?
Nothing relevant that I've seen. Is there an institution they've given us in 50 years? Anybody know? Have they built a school?
Fraternities built a school?
You're comparing fraternities to hip hop.
Yes.
The counter argument could be that fraternities have given us some of the best minds we've ever had.
What do you think about the mind of Jay-Z?
Okay, so let's go. Alpha Phi Alpha gave us Dr. King, and hip hop gave us Jay-Z. Are we really going to sit here and compare Sean Carter to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Not in current time, maybe. I mean, we
I
have
don't give a damn
lot
what
of respect.
time.
Yo, what's going on, man? If you're watching this video, I want you to know the only way you can see the full episode is if you head over to patreon.com and sub that podcast. We made a decision that we cannot drop the entire episode for consumption because we're being targeted, as well as long form content belongs to the supporters at the Patreon people. So if you want to see the rest of this, head to patreon.com. It's up that podcast. I really appreciate the love. 2025 and beyond, you know, it's real love for me. Salute.